everyone. Welcome to the another episode of Mind Over Matter, the podcast where we dive deep into the minds of extraordinary individuals to uncover the secrets behind their success and fulfillment. I'm your host Sushmitha, and today we have a truly inspiring guest with us, Don McLaughlin. From humble beginnings to becoming a successful trial lawyer and building a thriving legal tech and consulting firm, serving Fortune 500 companies, Don's journey is nothing short of remarkable. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. After hitting rock bottom during the 2008 financial crisis, Don transformed his life and business, achieving a dream exit and now helping other CEOs and entrepreneurs finding their own path to high performance and fulfillment. Don, it's pleasure to have you in our show. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to our conversation.
To start with, your journey from burnout to high performance is incredibly inspiring. Can you share what the turning point was for you when you realized that you need to make a change?
It was very much out of desperation. I had pushed myself to the point of going beyond burnout and ultimately hitting a rock bottom moment that I realized so much in my life was in jeopardy, and my business and my family life. And it was the pain of that rock bottom experience that that made it very obvious that I had to make some significant changes to recover myself and my role as both a father, a partner, and a CEO of a business that I founded. So yes, it was the pain of that rock bottom experience that caused me to, out of necessity, make significant changes in the way I was leading my life and leading in my business.
That's inspiring. And many CEOs and business owners struggle with finding clarity and presence in their daily lives. What strategies you have found most effective in cultivating these qualities?
Yes, it's for me, it's the process of slowing down and stepping aside from the daily demands of leading a business that have proven so important for me and now the clients that I work with, which is very challenging to do given how much information comes at us and how busy everyone is with the never-ending messages and emails that we receive. To slow down intentionally and engage in a deliberate practice or practices to do so. And for me, there are a few very important practices that help me do just that: slow down so that I can better I can better assess and evaluate situations and make more informed decisions that are less reactive. And some of those practices include the way I start my day by engaging in quiet reflection and reading a couple passages from philosophy, and one in particular school of philosophy that I've been studying the last 6 or 7 years is Stoicism from ancient Greek and Roman times, that just allows me in, reading one page a day uh, to regain perspective and go into the day with a reminder about some of the fundamentals of Stoic philosophy. Likewise, another practice is sitting quietly for even just 10 minutes at the start of my day, where I'm connecting with my breath. It makes a big difference. And it feels awkward at first because the mind continues with its, and yet I've found that practice of sitting quietly, connecting with my breath, to be very beneficial throughout the course of my day. Because I notice on the days that I do not do that, I tend to be a little bit more reactive. And so that process of sitting and connecting with my breath, again, just for even 10 minutes at the start of the day, by sitting in a chair and just closing my eyes and connecting with my breath, allows me to, I feel like, navigate situations that occur during the course of the day with more poise and more resourcefulness rather than just reacting. So those are two practices that have proven to be a mainstay for me. There are several others, but those are the two primary ones that have proven so beneficial for me and the clients that I work with.
Hmm. That's a very good advice. And easy practices and simpler practices people can start with if they want to move ahead in this particular field, or not
Yes.
only for people or entrepreneurs, for normal, even the students should do some practices of yoga or meditation mainly, or breathing exercises. Simply, people mostly they will not even they see these mindful practices are very complex, and they will stop themselves by thinking we need to be consistent, we might not be consistent, but it's all about once we should start. Even it's a, as you told, it's just a one page per day. It slowly it will increase. It's even a small, if we it's been consistent, is not only doing half an hour or 1 hour, at least 5 minutes if we do, we should be consistent. That's how we improve, right?
Yes, I couldn't agree more. And I, for years, and even still today, I often discount the value of small steps.
Mhm.
The most minimal effort can over time add up to such significant gains. And that's very much been my experience. And I think the most important part of it is just consistency and focusing on stringing together days where I'm taking those little steps to reinforce positive habits and focused much more on that consistency instead of duration or intensity. And catching myself when I try to just discount the small steps where my mind says, oh, it's not worth doing because I'm not doing enough of it, or I didn't do it yesterday or the day before, so why would I do it today? That I feel like is so it really is it's a cop out and a destructive way to think about the the real benefits that come from small steps taken consistently. So I agree 100%. And I think it's a reminder for us all that we can engage in the smallest step that will reinforce a positive habit and routine that over time leads to very, very significant gains that are hard to appreciate when we look at such a small step and think, how beneficial could it be, when so much social science shows, and my own personal experience, that those small steps actually lead up over time to very significant positive changes.
Yeah. And resilience is another crucial trait of business leaders. How do you build your resilience? And what advice you would give to others looking to strengthen their?
It's a great question around resilience, and it's a term that's easy to talk about, and yet I think can be a little bit challenging to put into practice those things that build resilience. And what does that actually look like? And from my perspective, it's a combination of building, for lack of a better way to describe it, resilience in mind and body. And from the mental side, um, some of what I've already talked about in terms of connecting with my breath in the morning is a step to build that mental resilience. Why? Because, as I mentioned, I find that I'm less reactive and I'm able to be more resourceful when challenges arise during the course of the day because of that practice. And so that is one example of a practice to build mental resilience. Another practice to build mental resilience, in my experience, is to disconnect from digital devices and just do so by taking a walk. And in that way, it just it takes me out of the the sensory input and the information overload that comes through the computer and a mobile device, and allows me to 10 or 15 minutes to notice the weather and just observe nature in a very short amount of time, in a way that helps reset mentally. And that's another practice, I think, to build mental resilience. That is no surprise that Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple, and so many other legendary leaders, creators, artists have used walking. I think that's very well known. And so I've adopted that same practice to build that mental resilience and have that reset through the course of a day. Um, and so that's building mental resilience. I said it's both mind and body, and to build resilience physically, there's a couple of key practices for me, and I've touched on one of them, which is movement, and the importance of moving my body to build resilience. And getting up from being seated and being in front of a computer has so many benefits. And that movement practice for me often is walking, but also running, jogging. A couple of times a week, I will go out for 30 to 60 minutes to just jog and run. And for me, that is most beneficial when it's out in nature, because being in nature, so much science shows now how it lowers our stress hormones and helps us recalibrate and experience balance. and that for me is essential. It's proven to be a practice that I gain so much benefit from in the way of resetting, recharging, and in that way building more resilience. I just feel like the problems that I was weighed down with prior to my jogging or running are less intense and less challenging after I've gone for my run than before I went for the run. So that's one aspect of building physical resilience. I think the other is nutrition, because it in my experience, what I'm eating and drinking has a direct impact on how I'm feeling and how I can manage the demands that surface throughout the course of a day. So I very much focus on nutrition as a source of fuel, as a source of energy over comfort or enjoyment. Not to say that I don't enjoy certain foods or meals. Yeah, I certainly will, but my primary objective in my nutrition is to maximize for energy, and in that way, that energy creates more resilience because I know that I'll have the energy I need to tackle the challenges that surface throughout the day. The last element of resilience, I would say, is the importance of reconnecting with our most important relationships and having frequent connections with those who matter most to us, both in our families, our friendships, and the people that we work with. So those are some of the key ways that I've found to build resilience in mind and body.
That's great. And thank you so much, Don, for sharing your incredible journey and insight with us today. Your story is a testament to the power of resilience, clarity, and the presence of achieving both professional success as well as the personal fulfillment.
Thank you so much.
To our listeners, I hope you found this conversation as inspiring and thought provoking as I did. Remember, it's never too late to start, make a small change, and start living your best life. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with others who might benefit from this. Until next time, keep pushing these boundaries of your mind and striving for greatness. This is Sushmitha signing off from Mind Over Matter. Stay inspired.